Hi, my name's Chrissy Brett, and I'm here at Beacon Hill starting day 2 of a cultural fast similar to Teresa Spence. I'd like to start off by acknowledging that we're on the Kwangin territory and thank the s02e and Esquimalt and Saanich people for allowing us to be visitors on their territory. And I'm here today to create conversation with our provincial government in honoring its Supreme Court decision that came out of Tent City. There's a lot of the agreements that have been broken around the Johnson Street 844 Johnson community building run by Portland Hotel Society, as well as the Super 8. The court decision agreement was that the Super 8 would be turned into 51 units of SRO housing, and they've taken 27 of that to make 60 to 90 day stay detox stabilization units that are not stable at all. So I'm here to say that the government needs to come back to the table and honor the agreement that they brought to the Supreme Court, give us our 27 units of housing back, and VHA needs to find somewhere else to put their detox stabilization, and I would suggest that maybe it be in a more stable setting. And I think that homelessness, not just in Victoria, needs to be on the provincial and federal government's page. I think that we need to address the crisis that's going on across the province and across the country. We've got employed people who are homeless, we've got students who are homeless, we've got vets who are homeless, and the social supports that the government should have in place to ensure that people don't find themselves in the places they find themselves need to be readdressed and readjusted so it works for the people, not for the government or the people who create the process that's currently not working for our people. So I'm just here to hopefully create conversation, maybe give a few people a bit of a break and bring back some of the community that we had at Tent City. We were able to successfully run our own shelter with no government funding, with volunteers and the citizens and residents of Tent City working together in keeping an encampment for up to 100 people, running, people fed, and people safe. We had one overdose death at Tent City, and yet there's been so many more at Johnson Street. There's been a suicide at Johnson Street. The community that we'd created and the relationships that had been created at Tent City was never transferred over to Johnson Street, and I hold the government responsible for not incorporating that into their plan of programming and staffing. They should have done more to create the same sort of volunteer base that we had at Tent City and bring in volunteers that were able to share their art, share their music, share their beliefs. We had pastors that came in, we had monks that came in. There was so much healing and community within Tent City that the rest of the community never saw. And I'm hoping that we can look at maybe securing urban reserve land where our Indigenous people can go back to our tradition of taking care of those in our community that need it the most. I think an urban reserve would be a good solution for municipalities and the provinces, and allow us to share space with our settler allies who want to live in a community, who can work with authorities in new ways that have never been done before. And until we have the solutions with housing and support services and healthcare services and mental health care services and addiction services, I think that organized encampments are the only way that it will be possible for people to survive with some dignity and some humanity. So at the end of this, I hope that people take this message to their own community and figure out ways that they can support people within their own community, similar to what we're doing here.